let's continue. Our year for today is 15 June 2021-22. The work says at least 2018. The same issue, the same object. Research kicked off 1999. Complaining corruption in law school, in business school, in economic school, wouldn't finish. In accountability school, had problem in the same way buffering. A master degree, law, I did it, was accepted. And on economic and business, in the same way I had problems. On law, my theory as master paper that I would like to deliver enough was about the proof, the procedural proof, and the course, the driver, I would say, is one specific head that has a lot of thoughts about crimes committed by silence. The FBI names Blind Eye Association, and we charged you, criminal offender, with this. Of course, that you have no way as escape. The last thing we had was that model, CGK Multi Financial Research, using our theory as economic and financial control, which generally will be applied at the body. The second movement was not planned, but they suffered so much aggression, and my area is business, that I turned this into industrial portfolio as self-defense, considering all elements, evidenced and proved, compiled, and this became a case. And you insisted on it to prove that you can scapegoat things, blame innocent people, and have the market as a next level as decision market offered by the judicial power with proof structured as fraud and criminal investigations made to obtain sometimes information in committed industrial crime. And we had in the morning, the day before, 14, the conversation about the failures as gap that we can have on supply chain. Indeed, we offered this model at the NATO in the very beginning of this war as simulation, and it was like this. I know that you remember, was in this period here. Any similarity with the board and the research made by Google, Microsoft, Federal Bureau of Investigation, my research, the cross-cut between my research and Federal Bureau of Investigation plus Google can be crossed with the 1 trillion US judicial power to get if we have any problems or indeed you committed all these that you are under accusation from the violation of the consumer market. And you must say that everything is a lie, because the law switched the order as presented proof. We strike first, we strike harder, and you are beaten. We will have the control as micro and macro, Brazil, USA as macro, cross-cut security forum, embassies. In micro economy, two banks, Bradesco and Intensa São Paulo, cross-cut in the same way. We will let you a question. We had a new officer at the Federal Police, and we had a lot of them during this period, all with problems related with the chair number one as the president, considering noises, internal noises that do not belong to the office as president, but sometimes goes at the family that has public chairs, and by mistakes or things that are not properly made, sometimes creates a huge mess. And it's not fair transfer this cloud to rain in someone else. The rain must drop and falls in specific person that must be under the rain. It's not my case. And gaps that we had on supply chain, of course, that will go at the consumer market. We suggested to the judicial power, America asked this. The violation to come into a place as an allergic entrance without my permission, or by the broken the security despite I raised the security, like an extra, an extra lock at my door or something like this, or even of a new antivirus with more security, you insist on it. In the same way you insisted at that charge, and you committed more crimes and unfortunately maybe kicked off from obstruction. But we will suggest at first that I'm in the hood as Tijuca. Tijuca has a lot of, academies to have, gym clubs, and people go there to work their body. But as the environment got rotten, the gym club got rotten, with full of problems. And no activity as sports activity has problems in the same way. Sometimes prostitution, drug trafficking, stealing cars to obtain advantage on insurance, and a lot of things. And we have some stores that offer those kind of products to, boost your testosterone or something like this, or to get it in shape, like burn calorie or something like this. One of those stores is this. It's named Propolis Natural Products. We have a phone call. It's on the Conde de Bonfim Street. You can research this. U.S. Judicial Power, number 722, store A. It's a very gentle store. I bet that you will like. And I had a purchase as a second time, which is this product here, Tribulus. That is some herbs that boost your, performance when you are doing the activity. And this seems that can make you have a heart attack or something like this. And if you do exercise, not only to get in shape, but for your health, mental health, and the health as your system and your heart, of course that this can kill you. But we must have in mind that is this product dangerous since from the very beginning? I think it's not. And why this product became dangerous right now? I don't know. But could have any relation in the same way like play piano or something like this. Or when I do not have the access to the internet as Wi-Fi, because I shut the Wi-Fi down and the machine raised the Wi-Fi. You can research this, but of course that this kind of situation, someone almost had a heart attack, at least once. We divided this in 3 or 4 groups because it's a property of the audit, had the division of things as segments, like the Venn diagram interval, and have different groups doing the analysis, like we did with the Microsoft and Google, me and the FBI, and the judicial system, like the micro and the macro. In all cases, you are always wrong, federal, as a system. with debtors inside, changing the situation by crimes, which points to obstruction, and now you are debtors qualified as criminals, with frauds against the legitimacy of the creditors, the charge as itself, the entire research, the security forum, the optimization of U.S. defensive system, which is a piece of the NATO, and you affected and hurt the interest as NATO at the industrial portfolio as self-defense. And we have this, we will put this at the garbage, a piece. We have a different piece in other area, 2 pieces, and a 4th element that will be in another area. And this crap I will let inside my, wardrobe or something like this. If you got something wrong, you can request to the new officer as Federal Police Brazil, because during one specific period that I had a lot of problems at the postal system, suddenly got discovered that the chief as Federal Police was leading a scam at the postal system. And we are having problems at the consumer, considering the mechanical that do the repair of my car. You will request and have this follow-up in the way we suggested at least 3 months ago to trace this kind of risk, which isn't the substance as itself, but the space created inside a relationship as consumership based on the interest of 2 pieces that carry ourselves to the risk that you, criminal offender, do at the bank system in the same way by the economic and fake index that you present all the time, unable to have the transparency and confirm our accusation one more time now as white-collar crime, economic crimes, financial crimes. And if this all goes with the cyberspace or the sport, you are committing cybercrime in the same way, and the integration of 2 both put you on fintech crimes. You have no dignity at all. No dignity as an offender. Sad your situation, but it's the reality of facts and circumstances, which will be the next episode. Tomorrow is the great day. This was your last hoax, but you did the hoax all the time, at least since 1988, because the crimes committed do not allow you to have the transparency of your own accountability as budget, which is the finance and public investment. You steal your people, and you are not satisfied doing this by the overtaxation and the crimes committed by you, using the misusage of prerogative. Now you are asking and begging investment all around the globe. According if the vice president, Brazil shouldn't behave itself as a beggar, but you do like this because if you do a research, you will find drug problems on you all in all levels, and the adjustment and the frequency, and you have the chair switched, will point to scams, diverting money, and setting a parallel clandestine level of organization and mobilization with transference using even the judicial power as system of justice, by decision, by habeas corpus, by petition, in the way you did against the Ford Motors, in the way you did against the Google, at least once, which will be your excuse. I will suggest you, Judicial Power and Federal Bureau of Investigation, to have a line at research, consider your office as main office on capital city, Brasilia, the capital city office as at Federal Bureau of Investigation, to research the production of chess, as things that you eat, cheese, on Minas Gerais state, to understand if you have cocaine inside the cheese that you are offering on your contest about sommelier and things like this, and have that cross-cut with wine as production on the south part of our, geographic space. Maybe you had opium on it or something like this, I don't know. Because Brazil has the interest as being self-supported and drug by dependence. You have no self-determination anyway. And which will be your position, criminal offender? Can you present your reasons by law? You couldn't since 1988, and in these few hours until tomorrow, I bet you can. The product will be at the garbage can, will be at my wardrobe, and we have different pieces separated, spread in the same way to have the analysis. In the same way we had medicine pills on it, we carrying risks to the society and the people in general. In the same way we had hot and food transfer and offered to America and other areas. What's the problem about all things you did? You must assume and face the consequence of all your behavior. You committed a lot of crimes. You act by falsehood. You act by cowardice. You act by corruption. And you committed crime using instruments of control, violating basic rights, violating guarantees, and all these will have the signature of at least one judge. And the integrated failure put you all as a failure by blind eye association. And my master degree that I would like to have on law was about this, the proof. It's not my intention because I'm not on law school anymore. I'm 100% business all the time, 24 hours a day. But it's like this, and I like economy very, very much. Any question? I think that you all will be sent to jail tomorrow. It's the right thing to do, it's the law, it's the right that you have considering the constitutional guarantees in Brazil and USA. We'll have the second presentation now about COBOL.